This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And let me tell you, you know what? It's been a big day in Oilers land as I look at Twitter and Instagram and go over here to something Sam sent me. Here, as according to Oilers Daily, I can't really see things here too far, but as far as I read on Instagram today, Connor McDavid's back in Edmonton. Tyler Benson has made his way back from where he was playing in Switzerland with the GCK Lions, and that makes sense over the past couple days as well. Joachim Nordstrom, of course, Jacob Markstrom, and Elias Lindholm have also returned home from the overseas shenanigans all these NHL players have been up to. And then you also go down here where you've got Evan Bouchard posting on his Instagram story wearing a mask in a either Swedish airport, a Canadian airport, or some kind of airport going through Calgary, obviously. But the guys are getting back to Edmonton, my friends, and, well, wherever you get your information, it looks more and more by the day that the NHL is putting together a serious return-to-play plan that will see us back in action, exhibition games or not, by sometime mid-January. Whether you want to say the 10th, whether you want to say the 20th, any date in between there, heck, even February 1st. Right now, it's time to get in motion, and how you do that is you got to mobilize your players that are in Europe and get them back home. So now I think the interesting part for us as Oilers fans, as we've been suffering listening to all these guys play in Sweden, Switzerland, Russia, wherever, well, guess what? Now the problem is we don't have to worry so much about keeping up with those guys. We have to worry about keeping up with the guys coming back home here to Edmonton and keeping up with the guys staying put in the European ranks. And I'd imagine like a Raphael Lavoie, that's why we haven't seen anything about him. He'll stay put in Vosby for the time being until something urgent with the AHL comes up. And right now, we just get to see the kind of the main cast coming home. So I'd expect to see, if you follow all the Oilers Instagrams and Twitters and Snapchats or wherever you got Oilers players on social media, wherever you follow them, Facebook if you still do that, well, you know what? Expect to see something from probably a Joachim Nygard here soon. We all saw that video of Connor McDavid and his dog getting together for the first time since Connor's been away in Arizona. And you've got, of course, Leon Draisaitl's apparently back. I think he's been back the whole time, but there's already a contingent of 6 or 7 or 8 Oilers players in Edmonton. Now you've got, say, Tyler Benson, you've got Connor McDavid, you'll have Evan Bouchard at least by the end of tonight, if not tomorrow morning. You've got everybody coming around, Tyler Benson. There's going to be a big Oilers contingent in Edmonton prior to Monday next week. I'd expect fully, if we do not have an announcement from the NHL and NHLPA on a season by the end of this week, I'd expect bare minimum 90% thereabout of the Oilers team that we will see take the ice on January 15th will be back in the provincial capital of Alberta come Monday next week. So we are talking, the timeline's moving all of a sudden very quick, and this is maybe to my point in my live stream that I kind of kept quiet yesterday, is the fact that we're tired. This is it, right? At some point, either just don't give us hockey or give us hockey, don't play us along. And this is the, here we go, we might be getting our hockey news we need just to keep kicking for another day here, right? I'm not asking for big things like a schedule right now. I'm asking for right now, just give me something concrete I can bet some chips on. And right there, Evan Bouchard in an airport somewhere in the world tells me I can bet some chips that this NHL return to play NHL season is going to get underway and we're going to get our Edmonton Oilers back in action sometime soon. I mean, realistically, guys, you know what? No matter where you are in the country, the world, whatever, this is going to be a tough Christmas. 100%. I think if you didn't know that from the start back in March, whatever, you're probably missing a very early boat to have gotten on. So fair enough, right? But this is going to be a tough Christmas. But honestly, look at it this way. We are 18 days out from Christmas Day here in Canada. Great, gold. Then you've got 5-6 days where the World Juniors will be on, and suddenly we'll be hard-pressed not to be watching that all winter. and then bang, you're into the new year. Well, guess what? If you're into the new year, January 1st is kind of this targeted date for training camp to open if we're going to have a season start 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th of January. So there you go. Right away, guys, the hardest part is over. Right? The hardest part is over. If we've got Edmonton Oilers players coming back to the city, and I mean in droves, right? Sure, 6 guys showing up for informal skates. They were already there. They're not showing up. They're already there. Well, then you have Patrick Russell and Chris Russell show up. Well, Chris Russell's down the road in Caroline, and Patrick Russell didn't feel like being in Denmark anymore because who knows what's going on over there. So he came back home. Okay, great. Good gold. Well, okay. Hold on a second here. All right, so now we've got Connor McDavid returning, and when you want to talk about the Oilers returning, you can't have the Oilers return without Connor McDavid, so that's a big sign. Tyler Benson hanging up the skates in Switzerland after absolutely dominating things in the second Swedish league. Okay, all right, we'll take it. All right, so there's our guy. Yeah, he's coming back, and he's there. He's playing. Okay, Tyler Benson's back. Evan Bouchard boarding a plane. Gee, I mean, how many articles have we had about Evan Bouchard in the past 3 months and how important he might be to the Oilers team this year? Okay, well, that's a pretty good sign that something major might be happening behind the scenes here. And then, well, okay, you've got all this information starting to float around about January 15th, 16th. And I mean, that's been hard news since January 1st became unrealistic at the start of this month. So, I mean, right away it was bang. We've been talking. January 1st really isn't relevant anymore. Middle of the month is, let's go. And that's what the players and the NHLPA and the NHL and the Board of Governors have been negotiating. And I mean, you look at how quick the return to play took shape, right? Is bing, bang, Monday through Friday, and you can get the business done. That's why you have 5 business days in a week. Trust me, I don't work this much just to not see anybody else work that much. So, okay, good, gold. We got 5 days. Today's Monday. Well, if you can't get it done all this week, and you probably don't like releasing things on a Friday, but let me tell you, the chaos you could create in the NHL fandom if you release the news on Friday, my goodness, we would have potentially the craziest weekend ever on Dolynny TV for Oilers news. Signings, PTOs, whatever you want to call them. It would be nuts. Granted, it would be awesome. So there you go. Bang. All right. We've got that. But also, more formally, the NHL is a pretty formal corporate system. They may release it on Monday. And of course, they'd release it at noon, 2 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern, whatever, sometime in there. When I'm at work and don't have days off to sit here and game plan, oh, the NHL announcement's coming Monday, I should take that day off. Nope, I took my last day off on Friday and we grinded 5 videos in a day, so that's dealt with. But right, is either Friday or Monday. If this is the situation we are currently playing with, we could see our Oilers back in action on the ice January 1st, and we will know that will be cemented by Friday maybe this week, Monday next week. But you don't start having this kind of mobilization without something concrete actually happening. So that's where in the background, yeah, we might not have the full details, but there are big details to come here right away, and that is what is going to get me through what's been a tough past 2 weeks with nothing to discuss except for what our guys, who majority of them won't play on the roster this year, are doing in European leagues that 90% of us have never watched a highlight from until this year. Fair? Fair. So this is the bridge news we need, and we need to get through. So this is going to keep me going. It's going to keep me going for now. But now it really becomes the hard part. Is today, ongoing discussions Saturday through Sunday. We won't really know what was discussed till tomorrow from today. And then all of a sudden by Thursday, Friday, we'll have a really good picture, hopefully, of what's going on behind the scenes and what could be leading into a Friday or Monday announcement on the season. But right now, right, obviously all the Oilers players have this luxury of going through Calgary for that rapid 2-day test thing that we've got set up to quarantine, and that doesn't affect me. Straight up, I'm going to tell you that does not matter to me because I have not traveled outside of the country in, I'm going to date myself here, since probably sometime early last decade. or this decade, or if you want to be a stickler, whatever, right? Sometime in the early 2010s. That's the last time I was outside of the country. So, all right, let's go, right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the bridge news. Now comes the hard part, but we'll talk about some other stuff tonight and we'll get rolling. Guys, this got me through getting a video up today. Okay, I will be honest, without having the Instagram messages that came through today and the news that was within them, I don't think there would have been a video today because straight up I did not have the motivation. But this is what a lot of you guys out there are crying for, is something concrete just to get you through, just to get you by, because let's face it, not a pretty situation any way you cut it, whatever you believe on any front. It's not fun right now. Okay? Holidays are coming up. I know I talked about that being a quick time of year. It could be a very hard time of year. But at least having something to look forward to that unites us all, right, as Oilers fans. And I mean, we are far more divided as Oilers fans than we are united. But let me tell you, the one thing that unites us is when the Oilers are on the ice. Whether you're divided and united, whatever, straight up, whatever. The one thing we can all agree on is we want hockey back. And if you don't want hockey back because you're worried about other things, you know what? At least want hockey back, because in the day, it's something to take your mind off things. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We'll get to discussing something a bit different later on. Hard topic today, but we'll get through it. Hard news, hopefully Friday or Monday. I'm up on out of here.